just a thought. I never knew it would really be massive, and looking back, I could feel my achievements, which are fulfilling and amazing. 2008 was already a challenging year, as unknowingly, economic turmoil started to emerge. It is indeed a challenge to establish an organization which is now an institution. I was motivated by my passion to lead and create leaders as well. And because of this, I pushed with my plans, summoned my colleagues, and we ventured our roots and created PECE UAE. That was July 2008. I chaired for 2.5 years from 2008 until 2010. I was supported by 32 electronics engineers from various companies, and it went to around 200 members. From the beginning, I ensured that the spectrum of activities that IECEP UAE will undertake would be holistic, comprehensive, in order to cover the whole value chain to address the challenges of time. We attribute all the achievements of IECEP UAE to one another. I have always the honor to represent IECEP UAE and present its core values and strategic steps to every members and incoming members of the institution. As I believe in the value of succession, we need to instill to our members that value of character, professionalism, integrity, and camaraderie, because this is what electronics engineers are.
2011 has been a very busy and challenging year for IECEP UAE. The year started with the first turnover of leadership from chapter's founding officers, where out of the 11 board of directors, only 2 from the founding officers were elected to serve again for another year. The new set of officers immediately acknowledges the very big shoes to fill to make IECEP UAE move to the right direction. 2011 was a great year. I commend all officers and members on their hard work, dedication, and support. As I can humbly say that this year will be one, if not the finest year, that IECEP UAE would ever have. It is with great pleasure and humility to say, let us take each other with respect and understanding. The institution we have commenced is with respect and competence. Hence, let us keep the spirit in order to succeed and continue for another decade.
God has always been faithful to our organization and to all of us in our lives, both professionally and personally. Being one of the past governors of the chapter is truly a great honor. I will forever treasure and remember the experience of leading a group of not only smart, talented, gifted individuals, but who are so committed and selfless in helping and guiding fellow members and officers to serve each other and together be of service to the Filipino community in the Middle East and throughout the world. For me, is the real value of being a part of this noble organization. Continued success, more breakthroughs, more achievements, more recognition, as truly one profession, one organization, one family.
2013, how can anyone forget? This was the year when the Filipino Professional Group, now known as the Philippine Professional Organization or PPO, came up with the first sports fest and the first social event entitled An Evening with the Filipino Professionals. Those were the major events during the time. IECEP UAE chapter, among the group of professionals like IIEE, PSME, UAP, PICPA, and others, became the overall champion at the basketball competition. Additionally, IECEP UAE chapter was the team who mainly evolved during the evening with the professionals. And once again, our camaraderie and unity were demonstrated and recognized.
My challenge in 2015 was to uphold the perseverance of the previous governors. Nevertheless, with the unselfish support and dedication of all the members and their families, I was able to withstand the needs and requirements of time. We were able to conduct various seminars and trainings with qualified speakers from IECEP National and from our very own competent leaders and members. We were able to continue our commitment with the Filipino community through outreach programs by providing free airfare to those who qualified distressed OFWs under the care of OWA. We were the highest attendees during the second IECEP International Convention in Qatar, and we were able to increase the membership. And lastly, our activities strengthened our bond into one family, one institution. I can say that my personal and professional abilities were honed and refined as I managed to influence and direct the right path for the leaders and for the members. It was difficult for us, for there was no shortcut to great leadership. However, I would be forever grateful to all the officers and members as they are the significant ingredient in the IECEP UAE chapter.
2016 is the 8th year of IECEP UAE chapter and the year where professional upgrades happened. And this year, the result of SPLE was spectacular, with the ECE passing rate of 14% and ECT of 79%. This is the time as well when IECEP UAE chapter created 10 PECEs and 1 ASEAN registry. Our IECEP UAE involvement in the community and social development stood up remarkably as well, as we continue to support and participate in all events, activities, and gatherings of the Filipino community and the Philippine professional organizations. I was fortunate to have IECEP UAE chapter's past governance, board of directors, and most especially, our members who always assure that as one family, we are bound to keep up with the welfare of each one. I must say that each one in IECEP UAE chapter plays a vital role for the success of this institution. The past years gave me a different perspective to always be selfless and to provide the best for our members.
More than a decade ago, the chapter had staged events and programs which brought more prestige and honor.
Under my leadership, the board ensured a balanced and sustainable approach to key advocacy areas, namely, gain and retain memberships, and provide them the required support and programs tailored for their professional growth. The year 2017 embarked another milestone in the history of IECEP UAE.
The organization hosted the 4th IECEP GCC Summit, which was the grandest and most attended convention of foreign chapters in the Gulf region. It was a huge task and challenge for me at that time, being the governor. However, the commitment of the officers, with the generosity of our members on their time and personal resources, made it easier than expected. The chapter is always active and been involved to such professional gatherings, which was evident on our attendance to previous IECEP international conferences. IECEP UAE is very dynamic in supporting the Filipino community events, like the Philippine Independence Day and Paskuhan celebration, bringing a greater impact to the personal and social lives of its members. We had participated in inter-organization sports fest, wherein our members were able to showcase their skills and talents on different sports and competition, which build their confidence. At the same time, enhance their enthusiasm through these collaboration activities.
With our sportsmanship, teamwork, and camaraderie, this has strengthened the unity and personal relationship amongst our fellow members.
IECEP UAE has also took part in leadership convention attended by different organizations as we develop and hone new leaders in the chapter and community. As part of our corporate social responsibility, we have conducted our SPLE review program, which is the main advocacy of the chapter, to assist our ECE and ECP aspirants. IECEP UAE, as an active member of the Philippine Professional Organization, had members volunteering as coordinators, proctors, and marshals during the board examination days. Also, we have participated on international conferences and exhibitions which paved the way for the partnership of IECEP UAE chapter and PECE. The chapter was also instrumental for the new employment opportunities of some of its job seekers by sharing networks and recommendations for relevant vacancies. More than just a professional organization, IECEP UAE have initiated charity outreach programs for our distressed kababayans, as well as those who are afflicted by the calamities back home. We have also sponsored Thanksgiving masses for all the blessings and achievements of the chapter and enjoyed in our Christmas party and family fun day gatherings. In a world where there are cultural, spiritual, and intellectual differences, the presence of a family in IECEP UAE is very significant. We are very proud that we have officers and members who were recognized by international and notable award-giving bodies and had also received professional awards from IECEP National and the PRC. Indeed, to belong to IECEP UAE chapter is a great privilege and a rewarding experience.
A decade of success, camaraderie, professionalism, and service. 2018 was extra special for IECEP UAE as we celebrate a remarkable milestone, our 10 years anniversary. Looking back on the organization's humble beginnings, the way we were, and the way we continue to thrive through the years. It wasn't just a celebration, but a recognition of the untiring support of our members, the dedication of current and past officers, as well as the guidance of previous governors, all contributed for us to grow and make it this far. Indeed, it was nothing short of memorable, and yet again has proven the culture we have built from its inception. One family, one profession, one organization. On the same year, IECEP UAE collaborated with fellow architectural and engineering professional organizations here in the UAE and launched the first and only Architecture and Engineering Summit 2018. Here, our members showcased their expertise by taking charge of the registration and technical committee, and a selected few took the center stage as speakers. This further cemented IECEP UAE's commitment to providing various professional development opportunities to our members. The following year, it was very much unexpected that the honor of governorship will land on my lap. The 2019 BODs knew there is a big shoe to fill as we begin another chapter in the history of IECEP UAE, the start of a new decade. Armed with enthusiasm and positivity, our main objective was to focus the lens to our members by elevating the services and activities we offer to them. That being said, we introduced the Engineer of the Week project, featuring our members in recognition of their contribution to the profession, community, and organization. We also amplified the number of affordable workshops we cater, like CCNA, Python, and VMware, amongst others, wherein we saw a high number of our members acing the certification exams, which positively impacted their work status. Through the organization, we were also able to assist our members in processing their degree equivalency that paved way in retaining or securing jobs. 2019 also presented a wide variety of opportunities with international events and organizations. We are very proud to have representation to some notable firsts in the UAE, namely Dubai Expo 2020, World Skills Competition, and Special Olympics World Games. Both members and officers alike actively participated, supported, and are still contributing to these prestigious events to date. Although it may seem that our hands are full with all the obligations we have here in the UAE, we never failed to deliver in our commitment to be aligned with the goals of IECEP National. We diligently embraced the programs and projects of IECEP National through La Cambini Ingeniera, attending the mid-year convention and annual general membership meeting, and continuously maximizing the utilization of my IECEP.net portal. We also worked hand in hand with some of the local chapters in providing assistance to communities affected by typhoons, earthquake, volcanic eruptions, and other charitable activities back home. With the collective efforts from our members, officers, coordinators, and volunteers, IECEP UAE bagged the Best Foreign Chapter Award back-to-back in 2018 and 2019. We are so fortunate to have a closely knit organization with both members and officers share a common ground of selfless service and unwavering dedication. IECEP UAE has provided a home away from home in the midst of a fast-paced, competitive, challenging, and sometimes uncertain world. Truly, it was an honor to be given the opportunity to lead IECEP UAE, let alone to be amongst some of the most extraordinary and amazing colleagues in the profession.
The year 2020 is totally different from IECEP UAE's usual activities in the past years due to the coronavirus outbreak. Amid the challenges brought by this pandemic, IECEP UAE continues its mission for the educational advancement of its members by conducting regular webinars as part of the continuing education program of IECEP organization. We are offering series of webinars with approved CPD credits which started in the month of May. We even managed to virtually celebrate the IECEP UAE's 12th founding anniversary on the 24th of July, attended by members and officers from different foreign and local chapters, followed by the first ever IECEP UAE virtual mid-year general membership meeting. To highlight our 2020 activities, we had accomplished IECEP UAE's first experience ever, the webinars, the mid-year general membership meeting, the creation of IECEP UAE official emails, the restoration and relaunching of the new official IECEP UAE website, the completion of final draft of the amended IECEP UAE bylaws, and the launching of SPLE online review. To date, we now have 509 members and still growing. Whatever the situation is, IECEP UAE will continue to provide selfless service to its members for the love of our ECE profession, and we will keep the spirit of one family, one profession, one organization, one IECEP.